Hello guys, welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to cover the Python for data analysis, why Python is needed for data analysis and why it is considered as most important thing for data analysis. Okay, so in this video we are going to cover things which are as this. These are the table of contents. So first we will be looking into the Python, why it is important, and what are its libraries. Okay, then we will set up the environment for Jupyter Notebook, like how to install it, and also the Google Colab. We will also look into VS Code. Okay, and then we will try to install the libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. And then Python basics will be covered up till functions, and then intro to data analysis libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. Okay, Seaborn I will be solving the data set, or I will try to cover it. Okay, then working on sample data set with EDA, that is exploratory data analysis, and data manipulation, data cleaning, and data visualization. Okay, and lastly a small recap of whatever we have learned. Okay, so this video is dedicated to all those who are trying to pursue data analyst course or try to learn data analysis. Okay, so you need to have the knowledge of Python or the R. Okay, so in this course we are going to look into Python, which is required for data analysis and also most widely used language. Okay, so to start with, let's understand like why Python is needed for data analysis and its importance. Okay, so first thing is Python libraries. Okay, it has many libraries which are very much useful for data analysis. Okay, so here you can see scikit-learn is there, so it is used for machine learning activities. Then NumPy is there, so it is used for numerical calculations. Then TensorFlow is there, so it is open source and end-to-end platform for developing machine learning applications. Then Matplotlib is used for visualization. Okay, and then networks and graphs, this is also used for visualization. Then SciPy is there for scientific capabilities like linear algebra and Fourier transform. Okay, and then this library Beautiful Soup, it helps you to extract data from web, that is web scraping is done here. Then Pandas, so which will be dealing in the coming lecture or upcoming tile. Okay, so it is used in manipulation of structured data. Okay, and then lastly the scikit-learn, it is used for machine learning activities like building of models like regression, classification, etc. Okay, so these are the first of all things or libraries which are widely used for data analysis in case of Python. That is why it is very much necessary to learn Python and its libraries. Okay, so mostly we'll be dealing with Pandas, NumPy, and Matplotlib. Okay, so scikit-learn, if needed, I'll try to cover it in the next lecture. Okay, so what is Python basically? So it is, okay, let me expand this, zoom in. Okay, so it is a general purpose programming language, meaning it can be used in the development of both web and desktop applications. So it is also useful for development of complex numeric and scientific applications also. So it is a programming language like any other language like Java, C Sharp, etc. Okay, so it is an open source, that means you can contribute to this language, and if it's valid then it can be launched in the as a library or a model. Okay, then it is an interpreted language. So interpreted in the sense line by line it will give you the answer. Basically, in case of compiled language, the entire code will execute at the end. Okay, but in case of Python, it executes line by line, so it will throw any error if it is there in that particular line, but in case of compiled you will get at the end. Okay, so it is interpreted. So it is cross platform in the sense it is compatible with Windows and Linux and Mac. Okay, so it is easy to learn, so it is extensible, that means a wide range of libraries as we have seen above. Then it is also interactive, that means it is user friendly. So it has some database connectivity, Oracle, MySQL. So these are the databases. So what is a database? A database is nothing but where your information is stored in a relational manner. Okay, and then you can also develop an web app using Django and Flask. Okay, So wide range of inbuilt libraries like NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib are also available in case of Python. So this is the importance of Python in case of data analysis and some of the other important features of Python. Okay, so coming to the next table of content, that is setting up the environment of Jupyter Notebook. Okay, and Google Colab also we will see, and VS Code. Okay, so first thing is Jupyter Notebook. So this is where I'm working currently. Here you can see this is a Jupyter Notebook, okay, in which I have loaded the content. So to install Jupyter Notebook, what you need to do is, so go to Chrome and just type Anaconda. Okay, so the first link which you get is this is for Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so go to free download here, and if you have Windows, you can download from here. If you have Mac, you can download from here. For Linux, you can download from here. Okay, so once you click on download, it will start download here. Okay, so I have it, so I don't want it, so let me pause it and cancel. Okay, so once you download it and install it, go to your search console and type Anaconda. Okay, so once you type Anaconda here, you will see three things. One is Anaconda Navigator, another one is Anaconda Prompt, and Anaconda PowerShell Prompt. Okay, so you need to go here, Anaconda Prompt. Okay, here, so here you can see I'm already running one prompt here. Okay, so first thing you need to do is you need to create a folder. Okay, so once you create that folder, for example, let me go again in that folder. Okay, so here you can see this is the folder in which I have my files. Okay, so just copy the path here first of all to log into Jupyter Notebook, and then paste it here. So type cd then space and control V. So once you go into that path of your folder, just type Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so once you type that, you will get into this page. So let me close this. Okay, so to close it, just type Control C and close this prompt. Okay, or the command prompt. Next, after typing Jupyter Notebook, just hit enter. So it will load, and after loading it will come to this page. Okay, so let me delete that page. So once you come to this page, it will show you all the contents available in that folder. Okay, so here you can see this is similar to this. Okay, so we have hotel booking, then Penguin dataset, then these all contents will be shown here. Okay, so whatever you add or delete from here, it will be reflected here. Okay, so that is how Jupyter Notebook is. So if you want to create a new notebook, just click on new Python. Okay, and once you click here, you can just name the file as you want. For example, here in case of this sample test notebook. Okay, so you can rename it as you want. Okay, and this is nothing but this cell, you can say, and here you can create a new notebook from here also, file. Okay, and you can edit the notebook, that is cut cells, copy cells, etc. Then view, in case of view, you have some options here, that is cell toolbar. Okay, then in case of insert, you can insert the cells. You can see I have inserted the cell below, and in case of cell above, it will insert the cell above. Okay, so kernel is most important topic here, or the most important edit option here. So basically, if you interrupt the kernel, it will stop the compiling or the processing of that thing. Okay, for example, suppose if I say print and if I say hi, so it will print hi, but if it is loading for a while, then you can just interrupt the kernel. Okay, restart in the sense it will restart the kernel. Okay, so it will restart if there is some interruption. Okay, and restart and clear output in the sense it will clear this output and it will restart again. That means you are restarting the machine itself. Okay, that is how restart happens. Okay, and then reconnect is same as this. Okay, and shutdown is shutting down the kernel itself. Okay, then there are widgets. Okay, and then there are some shortcuts here. Okay, so keyboard shortcuts here you can see. Okay, so the thing is, one thing is shift enter will give you the output. Okay, and also control enter. Okay, try these two. Also you can run this cell in this manner, run. Okay, for example, if we are not getting this, so if I click on run, it will run. Okay, so either shift enter or run option can do the job. So in this way you can create a Jupyter notebook. Okay, so let's open our Jupyter notebook here and let's close this, leave it. Okay, so this is how you create the Jupyter notebook. Now in case of Google Colab, it is also the kind of Jupyter notebook itself, but it is available directly in case of, you can say, consider as a cloud. Okay, so what happens here is just go type Google Colab. Okay, now here it will show you the first link or the second link. Go to second link, Google Colab, this one. Okay, now click on new notebook, so let it load. So try to sign in with your Gmail. Okay, Google Colab, directly it will open. Okay, yeah, this one, the first link can directly open, for example, file, new notebook, and this one requires sign in option. Okay, so sign in with your Gmail to keep the files saved to your drive, and this one I think it is just for this. Okay, this one also needs sign in. Okay, but you can directly work here also. So if you say code, here you can see print hi, and then click on run. Okay, it's asked for sign in, so just sign in with your Gmail and then you are ready to go. So the interface is same in both the scenarios, either Google Colab or this one, Jupyter notebook. Okay, so try to do this. Now in case of VS Code, you need to do, in case of VS Code, just click on VS Code here, VS Code download. Okay, and the first link which you see here, just click on that. Now here also there are options like Windows, Linux and Mac. You can click on download here, so just click on download and then download. So it will ask for this. Okay, so just save it, so it will start saving. Okay, so let me pause this because I already have the VS Code. So once you install it, just open it like this, so VS Code. Okay, now the interface of VS Code is like this. So you can click on new file or folder in the similar way if you have something. So let me create a new file, that is Python file. Okay, and then you need to save it basically. So let me save it with test and save it. Okay, now once you save it, if you are writing a code here, something like print hi, and then try to run it using this option. Okay, it is in restricted mode. Let me trust this. Okay, now it will run. Okay, so here you can see the output here. So if you don't have Python installed here, go here in the extensions and type Python. Okay, so here you can see the first link, so you need to install this. Okay, and also in case of Jupyter, you can also create a Jupyter notebook in VS Code itself, so you can install this. Okay, and once you install this, to create a workspace basically, so what you need to do is Control Shift P. Okay, so it will ask you for select interpreter, so click on that. So before running a Python file, if it is not running, it will ask to select the interpreter. So you can either enter the path here, enter the path in the sense wherever your Python is installed, you can enter that. Okay, here you can see it is taking this path, default path, or here I have installed desktop django.conda python.exe file is there. Okay, so this also it can take. So you can enter the path where Python is downloaded. Okay, and then it will choose it as an interpreter. Okay, so in this way you can choose the interpreter path to create the environment. Okay, So you can create it in this way, creates a new environment. Okay, so it will ask for a open workspace. That means why is environment created is so basically if you are working on a project, so there you need to install some libraries. Okay, so those libraries needs to be limited to that project itself. They need not be installed globally. Okay, so sometimes what happens, mismatch happens with the respect to the upgrade, or you can say the version. Okay, so version, so basically sometimes the version gets upgraded with respect to the libraries or the language, right? So it need not happen globally and it will break down the project workflow, right? So we need to create a environment, that is Control Shift P, then create environment if you are working on a project, okay, like a Django, Flask, etc. So in this way you can create the environment, and to run just a file you can select the interpreter and it will do the job. Okay, so this was overall about the VS Code and the Jupyter Notebook and Google Colab. Okay, so next thing we are going to learn is how to install the libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib and Seaborn. Okay, so to install the libraries you can just type this command: pip install NumPy for NumPy, pip install Pandas for Pandas, pip install SciPy for ML models like regression classification, and pip install Matplotlib. Okay, and Seaborn also same. Okay, so that is exclamation mark pip install Seaborn. Okay, now I already have all those libraries, so just to show you, let me run this cell. So it will show you it already satisfies. Okay, something it will show, so it says requirement already satisfied because it is already there. Okay, so if you don't have, it will automatically install if you run this command. Okay, so just run these commands: pip install NumPy, Pandas, SciPy, Matplotlib and C1. Okay, it will do the job. Now to import the libraries, you can just do this. So import NumPy as NP. NP is the alias. Okay, so you can just import NumPy, but whenever you are using some of the modules or functionalities from this library, right, so you will have to write NumPy, right, to initiate it. So in that case just NP works. So np.array will do the job. Okay, so in this also PD will work as pd.read dataset or read Excel or load data, like that. Okay, and matplotlib.pyplot as plt, Seaborn as SNS. Okay, and one more thing, just import it, that is import warnings and then type warnings dot filter warnings ignore. Okay, so this command, what it will do is it will try to ignore the warnings which will take more space in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, it says Seaborn not found. Okay, let me install Seaborn. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, it's capital S, so that is why it is not working. It should be small s. Okay, and now it is working fine because it is saying requirement already satisfied, so that's fine. So let's import now. So here you can see it is running or not. Okay, so whenever you hit shift enter, this will go black. That means it will go black, that means it is running. Okay, so to interrupt that you need to click on this. Okay, so if you want to stop it. So this was all about like importance of Python, setting up the environment and installing the libraries. Okay, so next is Python basics. Okay, so in case of Python basics you need to understand three things. One is identifiers, next is keywords and variables. So what are identifiers here? So all variables, functions, classes and objects are identified by a name known as identifier. Okay, so for example, amount is equal to 1000, so here amount is an identifier. Next is keyword. So keyword here, they are reserved words in Python. For example, if, for, where, break, etc. Those are keywords. And variables are nothing but they are like containers which help to store the data. For example, here amount is equal to 1000, so here 1000 is stored in this variable named as amount. Okay, so those are variables. So to begin with Python, you need to understand input and print function. Okay, so let's understand the print function first. So it goes like this. So let me delete this. So print, and whatever you write it, whatever you want to write inside the brackets, you can write it in double quotes. For example, hi, welcome to data analysis, right? So this will be printed. So this is written inside the print statement, that is string. Okay, so whatever in double quotes it is written, it is known as string. Okay, so it is considered as string basically in case of print statement. And without string or quotes, you can give the numbers, so that is number. Okay, print 1. Now in case of input, if you want to take the input from a user, you need to specify it like a is equal to int and then input. Okay, so basically what happens here is you can give the integer input here. Okay, so if I print shift enter, here you can see it is asking for an input. So if I give 2, it will take 2. Okay, that is how int input works. So if I try to give string here, so for suppose if I give a, it will throw an error. Here you can see value error. So it says invalid literal for int with base 10 a. Okay, that means in this case you can only pass integer. Okay, and there is one more format, that is a is equal to input. In this case what you can do is you can just give string or number, it will take it as a string itself. Okay, so if I give a, it will take as a, and if I give it as 2, it will take as 2. Okay, so whatever you give in this, it will consider it as a string. Okay, so for example, let's say input, and if I give a, and if I print type will specify you the type of data type. Okay, in the form of input. So now if I say a, it will say class string. Okay, and it will store a. Now if I take again 1, it will still say class string. But in this case, now you will see if I give 1, okay, I did not give this, right? So let me give this. Okay, now let me run it. What is happening? Is it still running? Yeah, I need to interrupt it. Okay, so now what happens here is, so if I run this, so if I give 1, it will say int, and if I give a, it will give string. So this is how it works. Okay, now next thing is operators. So what are operators here? So there are totally 4 kinds of operator. One is arithmetic, relational, assignment, and logical. Okay, so simple terms, arithmetic in the sense all the arithmetic operations like plus, minus, into, and division, etc. will come in this. Okay, and in case of relational operators like greater than, less than, or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, will come in relational operators. Okay, and in case of assignment operator, you can assign it like for example this 5 plus is equal to 56. Okay, it will print syntax error. Okay, so let me write this a plus 56 and a is equal to 5. Okay, so let me do this and then print a. So let me comment out these things. Now you will understand this. So it will print 10. So basically what is happening here is a plus 5, that means 5 plus 5 is happening here as 10. So these are assignment operators. Next is logical operators. These are and or not. So that means suppose if I print 1 and 1, it will print 1. So 1 and 0, it will print 0. So that is and or operator. And in case of this, if I write it with or, it will print 1. Okay, so those are nothing but operators. Okay, So if you want a detailed video on these, please comment it in the comment section. I will make one. Okay. Next is control structures. So in case of control structures, what happens here is there are two types, selection control statements and iteration control statements. So in case of selection, there is if and else. Okay. So let me write you a simple code. So that means in case of if and else, you are choosing between two options, like if this is true, this, else other thing. For example, let's declare a is equal to 5. Okay. Now you are saying if a is less than 6, print true. Okay. And else you are printing false. Okay. So it is true because a is less than 6, right? So it will print us true. Okay. But what if you are giving a as 8? Now it will print us false. Okay. So this is how if else works. Now next is iteration control structures. So those are nothing but for and while. Okay. So now what happens here is, in case of for loop, so whatever statement you're trying to run it in a loop, it will happen in for and while. Okay. For example, for I in range 10, that means you want to run I till the range of 10. Okay. And if you print I, you will see that it will print till 9. Okay. So what happens here is, for I in range 0 to 10, it will not consider the 10. Okay. Last digit it will not consider. It will print the I. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It will print. So this is how for loop works. Now in case of while, you need to specify the initializer. Then while I is less than 10. Okay. Print I, and then you need to increment the I with 1. So I is equal to I plus 1. Okay. And let us initialize this 0. You will get the same output. So we'll get 0 to 9 itself. Okay. So let me make some change, otherwise you may think that it is not working. So I have initialized it with 2. So we'll see that it will start from 2 now. Here you can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So these outputs we are getting on all the lines, right? Like every other line. So if you want to append this, what you can do is you can write end is equal to this. Now you will see that you will get the output in single line. Okay. So this is how while loop works. Okay. So next are the data structures, you can say. Some of the data structures in Python, that is list, then tuple, and then set, and last is dictionary. Okay. So let's understand it one by one. So in case of list, it is heterogeneous. That means all type of data you can have it in the list, that is integer, then string, this is complex, boolean, etc., and float. Okay. And they are enclosed within square brackets. So you can see it is enclosed within square bracket. And indexing starts from 0. That means 3 is assigned with 0, high is assigned with 1. Okay, like that. And lists are mutable. That means you can change the list. Okay. So for example, let me do this. Let me comment everything. Okay. So to comment, you can do control and slash. Okay. Below the question mark sign is there, right? So it will get commented. Okay. So if I run this, you can see that it is saying class list. Okay, let me cut this and paste it on other. Okay, so just give me a sec. Okay. So insert a cell value. Yeah, this will do the job. Okay. Now here you will see that list of 3 high, it is initiated. Then print type of list I'm printing. So it is saying class list, right? Now print list of 0. So this is 0th element, that is 3 it is printing. Okay. And now I'm doing list of 2 is equal to by. So in case of high, I'm appending by here. Okay. So you will see that at second position. So 1 plus 3j it will replaced with by. Okay. Now I'm printing the list again. You are seeing the new list here. Okay. Now to concatenate two lists, that means to join two lists, what I'm doing is list 1 plus list 2 I'm doing. So it will give us 2, 3, 4, 5. and 1 2 3 4. So least 2 is coming first, that is why 2 3 4 5 is coming in the least first. Okay, so this is how least operation works. Okay, so for tuple, let's take this and let's insert this here. Okay, so what is tuple? Now least was heterogeneous, so it is also heterogeneous. That means all type of elements are possible here. So it uses parenthesis. So it uses square brackets least, but it uses parenthesis. Now index also starts from 0 here, and they are immutable. Basically you cannot change the elements here. Okay, now here you can see we are initiating a tuple here, that is high 1 2 1 plus 3j. Then we are printing the tuple, so it will print this. Then type of tuple will be printed, and we will try to initiate like tuple of 0. Okay, so it will get us high. Now we want to change tuple of 0 to by, it will throw an error. Okay, so here you can see it printed a tuple, then class, then tuple of 0. Okay, we are not using print statement here, that is why it did not print. Now you will see, so it printed high, and then lastly it does not support item assignment, it says item assignment. Okay, so that is tuple. Next is sets. Okay, so let me cut this, Control X. Okay, I want here. Okay, now let me uncomment this. So in case of set, no duplicate values are allowed here. So you can see 1 2 3 4 4 is repeated twice. So but if you print the sample, it will give 4 only once. And then flower braces are used here. Okay, in case of set, and using index it cannot be changed. Okay, but using remove or add we can change the elements, so it is mutable. Okay, so don't get confused here. So if I run this everything, so here you can see sample, print sample 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4, it dropped the duplicate 4 here and it printed only once. Then type of sample is set, it is saying. So we tried to assign sample of 0 is equal to 11, it did not do. Okay, so we will comment this line. Now if I do this sample dot add 11, so it will append 11 to the end. Now sample dot remove 4, it is removing this 4. Okay, this is how the sets work. Now last one is dictionary. So in case of dictionary, it is present in key value pair. Here you can see 1 is the key, n is the value, 2 is the key, 1 is the value, like that. Okay, now keys are unique, so it will take the last key. Values can be duplicates. Values can be duplicates, but key cannot be duplicate here. Okay, so if I give this 1 here again, and if I try to print the dictionary, it will take 1 as ani. Sorry, it will take from here basically. So it is not considering this. Okay, so that is why you need to have unique keys here. Okay, so now it is working. Now if you print the type of dictionary, it will say dictionary. Then dictionary dot keys will give you the keys, that is 1 3 and 2, and dot values will give you the values. Okay, ani, bunny and high. And dictionary of 1 will give you ani, and dictionary of high. Okay, so you can take the values with the help of keys, but you cannot take keys with the help of values. So here you can see I'm passing 1 as the key, I'm getting value as ani, but if I try to pass high here, which is this, it will throw an error. See, it will throw an error, key error. And then let me do this. I'm replacing dictionary to this with Wakanda. Okay, and I'm printing dictionary. So this is how it changes. Okay, that is item assignment in case of dictionary. So this was all about the data structures, that is list, tuple, dictionary and set in case of Python. Last one is functions. So what is a function? So you can call this with the name of the function. For example, so it starts with the word like def, and then function name you can give. For example, let's write a function to add 2 numbers. Okay, and then we will pass the 2 numbers a comma b, and what it will do, let's say total is equal to a plus b, and we will return total. Okay, So now what happens here is, if you call add num with 5 comma 4, okay, now what it will do, if you just run this, it will give us 9. So this is how the function call happens. So what you are doing, 5 is stored in A, 4 is stored in B, okay, and then A plus B happens, it will store in total, and then total gets called using return, okay. So this is about the function. So we learned about the Python basics, like we covered everything which was needed for Python, starting with print, then input, then operators like in brief, then simple example of control structures, then list, tuple, set, dictionary, and the function, okay. So this was all about the Python, okay. So next is intro to data analysis libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib, okay. So this C1 we'll see in the dataset itself, okay. So first we need to import the libraries, that is import NumPy as NP, import Pandas as PD, and import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, okay. So we won't import the C1 library as for now, and then we are importing warnings also, and filter warnings.ignore, okay. So let's begin with NumPy. So what is NumPy here? So NumPy is a library for scientific computing, that is math, vector, matrices, and then TensorFlow, like tensors, array, etc. in Python, okay. And then okay, so it provides high performance multidimensional array. So basically in case of NumPy, we try to form multidimensional array, or we can do it is also considered as numerical Python. So basically all numerical calculations are covered in NumPy, okay. So to create an array, what we do is okay, so let me comment out this much, okay. So to comment out, sorry, so to I uncommented this. So array is considered as np.array, and then in parenthesis, then after that square bracket, pass the numbers whatever array you want to make, that is 1 2 3, okay. So array, okay, and array 1 is 2-dimensional, okay. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, okay. So 3 rows and 3 columns, okay, array 1, and array 2, okay, let's comment this, we don't need this, okay. So I was trying the 3-dimensional array, but we don't need that. So let's work on 1D and 2D, okay. So if you want to print the format of array, you can do dot form array format, okay. Then array dot shape will give you the shape, length of array will give you the length of array, like how much are there, okay. Array dot ndim will give you the dimension of the array, and data type of array we can do like this, and type of array will get like this, okay. So let's print this, okay. So here we will get okay, let's do this one more thing. I think that is, let's uncomment these things till here, okay. And then what we will do is, okay, we need after this, right? So yeah, so we'll place this here, okay. So now we will run this. So now you can see 1D array is 1 2 3, that is we are printing the array itself, that is 1 2 3, and array dot shape is 3 columns, that's it, okay. And then yeah, and then length of array is 3, it is saying, right. And then dimension of array is 1, data type is int 32, and then what is the data type of array is NumPy array, you can see here, okay. So similarly we can do for 2D array. So if I uncomment this, and let me comment this part, okay, and let's run this again. Now we will see that the 2D array is this, shape is 3 cross 3, length of array is also 3, and then dimension is 2, and type is int 32, and then this type is type of elements present here, okay. And then a type of data type of array is NumPy, okay. Now there are few things in numerical Python np dot array, okay. So basically there is a function called range, basically. So there are many other functions. So if you want, you can comment it down so that I can make a dedicated video on NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib. Okay. So in just brief, we are trying to understand here what is NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib. Okay. So use of arange is there here. So here you can see this is 1 is start and 9 is stop here. Okay. In that range it will print array. Okay. And here you can see step is given. That means you will understand this. Okay. So if I run this, okay, a use of arange it is saying, so it's range. Okay, sorry, Control Z, and this should be commented. Okay, now you can see up till 8 it will print, and here every time it takes a step of 2. That means 1, 3, 5, 7, like that. Okay, so whatever step you give, it will take that many steps after each number. So if I give 3 here, so it will give 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 3 is 7, like that. Okay, so that is use of arange. So this was all about NumPy, like we can create the array using np.array. Okay, so why I'm using np here? Because it is an alias. Okay, so NumPy, I'm importing NumPy as np, right? So like this. So that is why I'm using np.array. Okay, that was about NumPy, guys. And now let's understand about pandas. Okay, let me do this. After this, let's have this. So what is Pandas? So it is a library used for working with datasets basically. So most widely used library with datasets, like all the operations, whatever you want to do in the dataset, we use Pandas library. So it is very important library to understand. So it has functions for analyzing, cleaning, exploring and manipulating data. Okay, and the name Pandas has a reference to both panel data and Python for data analysis. Okay, that is how Pandas library is. Now how you create a series here? So basically let me uncomment this. Okay, so I am creating an array with a name label here which has a b c d e elements, and then there is array 2, that is list 1 2 3 4 5. Now I'm creating a series here for only one column. Okay, a pd.series of list. Okay, and then I am printing a. So here you can see how it will print. So it will print in this format. So here you can see 1 2 3 4 5, it is printing of list. Okay, pd.series. Now this second statement you can see pd.series list index and label. Okay, so index, in case of index I'm passing labels here, this form. So now here in place of 0 1 2 3 4 we will get a b c d e. Okay, so let's try this out. Okay, so see here you will get a b c d e and then 1 2 3 4 5. So this is how you can create a series in case of pandas. Now to create a data frame, so what is a data frame basically? So data frame is nothing but you can have rows and columns in the form of table. Okay, so here you will understand we are using NumPy here, np.array, and it is 2D. Okay, so 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 it is. Okay, and then we are creating a data frame of this array. So pd.data frame. So do keep in mind the lowercase and uppercase, d is caps and f is caps here. Okay, then data is equal to a. Okay, and columns is equal to abc I'm giving, and index is 5 6 7. Okay, and once I print this, you will see how it is. So in this way it will form. So data a, that means all the elements 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 are storing in like that. Every row is stored like this, and abc is the column name as we gave, and index is 5 6 7. Okay, so there are many things of pandas. So while doing or working on the data set, you will understand it. Okay, so this is just a brief understanding of pandas, like how it is. Like you can create a series, and you can also create the data frame, and also data cleaning, data exploring, we will do it in the data set. Okay, so in case of Matplotlib, so here you can see there are a few things. I don't want to show everything. Toolx. Okay, now in case of Matplotlib, it is a visualization library. Okay, so how you can create a line plot? So first is line plot. So we will see all the plots like line plot, then histogram, bar plot, then I think last is box plot. Okay, so what is this? np.array 1 5. Okay, and y is np.array 1 10, and then we are plotting x comma y and plt.show. Okay, so if I run this, you will get like this. So whatever we are doing 1 1 and 5 10. Okay, so this is how it plotted. Okay, plt dot show means it will show it, and plt dot plot in the sense it will plot it. Okay, now let's comment this and let's go to another cell, paste it. Okay, so next is scatter plot. So we will do one by one everything. Okay, let me do this. Okay, now in case of scatter plot, you can see how it is. So we are doing two arrays, that is np dot array x 1 2 3 4 5 and y is np dot array 5 4 3 2 1. So plt dot scatter will give you the scatter plot of x and y, and plt dot show will show you, okay, like this. And next is we are doing np dot array same, but in here we are giving colors here, red, yellow, green, blue, green, and plt dot scatter plot x y we are specifying here, and then color is equal to colors, this one, and line width is equal to 5. So basically this line width will be this. Okay, so here you can see the color bar is also available. Okay, that is how we can see the scatter plot. Now here in case of np dot array 2 4 6 8 10, okay, there are two things. One is this 1 2 3 4 5, and then other one is np dot array 2 4 6 8 10 and y. So there are two scatter plots here, you can see, one is this and one is this. So two things we are printing simultaneously, that is why we are getting two scatter plots here in same line. Okay, and this is color bar. Okay, so because we are getting plt dot color bar here, we are seeing here the color bar. Okay, so this is how the scatter plot is done. Next is bar graph. Okay, so let me comment this everything and let's run this. So same way, x we are specifying, y we are specifying, and then plt dot title we are giving bar g1, and plt dot bar xy is this. Okay, and plt dot show. Now similarly, bar h will give you horizontal way. That's it. Okay, so next is, so try to implement this like I am doing, so that you will get hands-on on it. Okay, so the next one is histogram. Okay, so for hist, here you can see I have written a note here. So for histogram, pie chart and box plot, it takes only one input argument. That means only x is needed and others we don't need. Okay, that is y is not needed. So for histogram, here you can see we are plt dot hist we are specifying, then x whatever we are seeing, and bins is 23. So bins is nothing but the size of this, sorry, the like if I increase this you will understand this, let's say 70. So we'll see more divisions now. So that is how bins are defined. Okay, so lesser the divisions, lesser it considers to be as a histogram. Okay, so more divisions if you make, it will considered like if you want to distinguish more precisely, then bins are used. If you don't want distinguishing, then you can directly don't specify this. Okay, it will work. Okay, this is how the histogram works. Okay, next is, what is next? Yeah, pie chart. So pie chart is it is used for categorical variables mostly. Okay, and its distribution in terms of percentage. Okay, so plt dot title, so x is defined, that is 1, and plt dot title is pie plot, then pie, plt dot pie will plot the pie chart, and then x we are specifying, then explode is nothing but the difference is here, you can see, that is explode. So 0.2 is this, 0.09 is this. Okay, so if I specify here, so 0 0 is this, okay, and 0.2 and 0.9 is this difference. Okay, so if I don't specify here anything, and if I now run this, you will see only one division. So that is how the explode is. Then labels are A, B, C, D, E, and shadow is nothing but this shadow. Autopacity is how many decimal places you want, this 38.83. So I have specified 2 decimal places. So if I specify 3, you will see 3 decimal places. This is how it works. And start angle is 90. So this is where it starts. So if I specify like 40, you will see the change. So this is where it started. So this start angle changes. So if I specify at 90, So it will start at the right angle triangle like this. Okay, and plt.legend is this basically, and show will show the graph. Okay, so this was about the pie chart. Okay, so this was a brief introduction of 3 libraries, that is Matplotlib, NumPy and Pandas. Okay, so there is one more thing I want to specify. So there are pre-inbuilt data sets available. So here you can see you can use, so I don't know to show you this, but you can try this out. Sorry, I don't know this. So here you can see, let me uncomment this. So Iris dataset is predefined here in case of Jupyter Notebook. You can see other datasets also. Load and tab, if you press, you can see breast cancer dataset is there, diabetes dataset is there, digits dataset is there, Iris dataset is there, then there is wine dataset also. Okay, so sample images are also there. So you can use any dataset to work on. Okay, so but the target variable will be in different format, that is data.target we will get, so we will understand it. Load Iris. Okay, yeah, so this is how you can get the predefined dataset. So let's go to our dataset which we are going to work, that is hotel dataset, hotel booking dataset, so which we are going to work here. Okay, so how it is, so let's understand the dataset first. So first we are importing the data like libraries, pandas, numpy, matplotlib, seaborn and warnings. Okay, so let's import those, shift enter. So here you can see it's running. Okay, the running is successful. Now let's import the data. So here you can see it's importing the data from the link which you have specified. Now data.head will give you the first 5 elements. So here you can see up till 4 it is specified. So hotel is cancelled, lead time, arrival date, month. Okay, so everything is there here, like there are many columns. Okay, so reservation status, date, like that. Okay, so everything about hotel booking is there, and the target column is cancelled, like 0 or 1 will be there. So 0 means that they have cancelled the booking, 1 means they have made the booking. Okay, now this data set pd.read csv is stored in this data. Okay, and then data.head gives us first 5 rows. Okay, now data.d types will give us the data type. So hotel is object, so object is nothing but this string. Okay, is cancelled is integer, so like that it will give us. Okay, object and integer, and float also is there. So where is float? Yeah, this one. So adr is float. Okay, you can find it out here. Now data.shape will give us how many rows and columns are there. So here you can see around 1 lakh rows are there and 32 columns are there. Okay, so it is pretty much big data set to work on. So data.info will give you the overall information about the data set. That means the column name, how many non-null values are there, count and data type. Okay, so this is how you can see. So here you can see 6797 non-null values are there. That means some data is missing from this column. Okay, and data.describe will give you the description of all the numerical columns. Okay, basically, so what all things it will include: the count, how many number of rows are there, its mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25%, 50%, 75% and max. Okay, and if you do include is equal to all, then it will give us all the categorical variables also. Okay, I need to specify this in the form of string, I think. Yeah, so this will give you everything. So wherever nan you are seeing, that is categorical value, that is string format. Okay, then data.isNull.sum will give us how many null values are there with respect to each column. So 488 null values are there in country, 16340 in agent, and this many in company. Okay, so whatever we are doing now here is we are trying to understand a data set by running some of the functions. So basically data.describe, then data.isNull.sum is null values. Okay, so since a company has many things, okay, so now we are cleaning the data here from this step. Okay, So company has like many null values, so we are dropping the column itself. Okay, so data dot drop company exists 1. Okay, so this is how we drop the data. So we need to write include is equal to true. Okay, so sorry, in place is equal to true. That means it will be validated, it will not be present. Okay, like that. Okay, and then data dot head. Okay, so data dot head will give us again everything, so to see what we have done. So here you can see I have not included this in place is equal to true, that is why I have run this again. So either you can write in place is equal to true, that means data that column will be dropped completely from this data variable, or else if you run this cell again it will be there again. Okay, so to drop the column permanently you need to specify either in place is equal to true and run only this thing, or you can drop in place is equal to true and you can specify data is equal to this. Okay, then it will drop. Now it has been dropped. Okay, now we are looking into data dot head again, so you won't find company column here. Okay, now we are trying to calculate the median of data dot children here. So basically where is the children? Okay, so just the column name I'm showing you how to find the median, that is 1 0. Then mean of children you can see 0.10. Then median of agent, then okay, is this. Now agent, there are some nan values I think. Okay, so where is this? Yeah, this one. So there are some missing values in case of 488 and 16340, right, company. So that we are replacing it with median. Okay, because why? Mean gets affected to outliers. Now what are outliers here? So some things will be beyond the limit, that is upper range and below range, that is above max and below min. Those values are considered as outliers. Okay, so those things need to be handled with median or mean as compared to the data set. So it totally depends on the data set, how you are dealing with it and how the person is solving that. So we are using median because it won't get affected by outliers. Okay, so that's the only thing. So we are replacing this and then in place true, and then children with median 1. Okay, now if you run isNull.sum you will see okay, country is one more there. So these things, but it showed us 0, agent and what it is, children. Yeah, this one 0, right? So now only there is one column, data dot country. So it has mode. Okay, so mode in this sense it is categorical. Where is the country? Okay, let's check here. Data dot country. Okay, so here you can see PRT, BEL, France, like that it is there. I think France, but I'm not sure it. So these are the names of the country. Okay, so there are some nan values there. So I'm finding the data type here. So it is object. O means object. That is why we are replacing the values with mode. Okay, now mode 1 is PRT. That means the most occurring value is mode, sorry, PRT in case of this data dot country. Now this country column we are replacing nan with mode 1. Okay, now if I run isNull.sum everything will be 0. Now the data is cleaned. Okay, so this is how data cleaning is done. So first we started with understanding the data, like what all things are there, how many columns are there, and some predefined functions with pandas. Now we cleaned the data. Now the data is clean. Okay, now to handle duplicate value, like we are dropping the duplicate values. So basically we can use data dot drop duplicates and in place is equal to true. Okay, this one. Okay, now I am storing it in this, so no duplicate values, so that's fine. Now data dot shape. Now this is a clean data set, so one column we dropped, and last it had like around 1 lakh plus values. Now it is 87,000, right? Now handling the outliers, so we don't want the outliers also. Okay, so if you see this, these are the outliers basically. So here you can see the box plot, the 0 is min, max is 300, but some values lie above that point, so we need to drop those values or distribute those values accordingly. That means we can use either normalization, standardization, or dropping the values using IQR. Okay, now we will be using IQR. So what is IQR? That is interquartile range. So it is given by quarter 3 minus quarter 1. Now quarter 1 and quarter 2 is nothing but quarter 1 is 0.25% and quarter 3 is 0.75% of your data. So consider data as 1 and the 25 percentile of data is quarter 1, quarter 3 is all the 75% of data. Okay, so an interquartile range is quarter 3 minus quarter 1. So we are writing a function here, simple function to remove the outliers. Okay, now we are sorting the column first, whatever column we are passing. Now we are passing like how much value needs to be there in quarter 1 and quarter 3. Then we are specifying IQR. Now lower range of interquartile range is given by Q3 minus 1.5 into IQR. Okay, and upper range is Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. So below this range, whatever data lies, it is good for evaluation of the model or analysis. Okay, so whatever data is outside this lower and upper range, it is considered as outlier. So we are directly dropping that data. Okay, so return lower range and upper range. Okay, so what we are doing here is low lead time and up lead time. So this we are passing in remove outlier data dot lead time. Okay, so when we are passing data dot lead time, this will go here, and what it will return us lower range and upper range it will return. So lower range will be low lead time, upper range will be up lead time. Okay, now data dot lead time is equal to NP where data dot lead time is greater than up lead time. Okay, replace with up lead time. That means maximum whatever data is above that range, it is replaced with up lead time, and then we are returning the data dot lead time. Okay, so in the similar way, whatever lower data is below this range, lower range is replaced with this range itself. That means whatever value we are getting for this. Okay, so once you run this, okay, remotely I did not run this. So now if I run this, now if I do the box plot of this, you can see the data is cleaned. Okay, so basically what we are doing here is lower range and upper range, we are substituting in all the values which are above this and below this. That's it. Okay, in simple terms. Now yeah, we removed the outliers. Now the next thing is normalization and standardization. You can try this out. Or okay, so basically you can import sklearn.preprocessing, import standard scalar. So standard scale is standard scalar, so this is standardization. Okay, for normalization you need to import min max scalar. Okay, so no need of it because now data is clean. Okay, now next is data dot head and data dot tail. Okay, so tail will give you the last 30 values. Okay, so whatever you specify here, those values will be given in case of tail. Okay, so next is we are getting the dummy or the categorical values from this hotel data set. Okay, so because if you want to build the model, it needs to have only numerical values, no categorical values will be needed. So to do that, we need to do one hot encoding. So which basically what it does is, suppose your data is male and female, so what it will do, male and female, two columns it will form. So suppose if your column has gender and male and female, now what it will do, male and female, so wherever male is there it will replace with 1, and wherever female is there it will replace with 1, and wherever it is not there it will replace with 0. So basically wherever it is present it will replace it 1, and not it will replace with 0. So that is how it will reduce categorical columns into numerical ones. Okay, so to do that, pd.get dummies, and whatever categorical columns are there we need to pass here, and then column names. Okay, so once you do this, all the categorical columns will be replaced here. Now if you see dummies.head here, so this is how it formed. So basically hotel city was in this one, right? So it replaced with 0 and 1. So hotel, resort, hotel, then arrival date, month, so everything is replaced with zeros and ones. Okay, now what we are doing, we are concatenating dummies and data and exists one. Okay, now if you see the data, it will have duplicate columns also. That means it will have like many things. So is cancelled is there, hotel is there. So here you can see it has, okay, let me show you the shape. So here you can see how many columns it has formed. So basically one hot encoding technique, what it will do is, number of categorical columns are more, then it will form many columns. Okay, as the data or different values are there in that data. Okay, so this will get doubled. So that is why it is not preferred in many times, but since we are doing it, let's go ahead with it. So whatever original data were there, columns were there in case of categorical columns, that we need to drop here. So we are specifying it in columns, then data dot drop columns exists one in place true. Okay, now if you see data dot head, these many columns are there. Okay, now if I give data dot shape here, see 1186 are there. So 1198 were there, now 1186 are there. Okay, so these many columns will drop basically. Now data dot sample, if we will give you the any sample, so if you run it again and again, so it will give you many times the same different outputs. Okay, just it will give the random sample from the data sets. Now data types we are checking, then data dot info will give us this. Okay, so basically these were the things in case of data cleaning, data manipulation, etc. Okay, so one thing is remaining, that is data visualization. Okay, so that we will see it in this data set, penguin data set. Okay, basically, so what happens here is, so this further thing is model building, so which is not necessary with respect to this. So if you want it, I can make a dedicated video, do comment it down. Okay, so to analyze the penguin data set, let's run everything first. Cell run all. Okay, because I don't want to waste time here, because this video is taking longer than expected. Okay, so penguin dataset is simple. It has species, island, column length, Kuhlmann depth, then flipper length, body mass, and sex, whether it is male or female. Okay, so these we are doing again the same EDA we are doing here, data dot shape, getting details, null values, then sex we are checking, then okay, now comes the visualization. So this is heat map. Okay, so what we do is, in case of heat map, we see data dot is null is there or not. So wherever data is null, it is showing yellow. Okay, so simple command sns dot heat map, then data dot is null we are passing, that is wherever null value is there, we are replacing c bar as false and c map as vertices. Okay, so this is basically the color. Okay, so now data cleaning is there, that we don't want. Okay, now we can see another heat map is there, that is data dot correlation. So first we are defining correlation here. So what is correlation? So one column will be like it will be similar to other, that means if one is increasing, the other will be increasing, like that. Okay, so it will be dependent on other or reverse, vice versa. So here you can see, as we are going up, the darker columns are correlated to each other. Okay, this one like this, 0 point, like flipper length and body mass, it is correlated. Okay, so this one like that. Okay, so this will be dedicated using defined using heat map, sns dot heat map data dot correlation, and not is equal to true is this. Okay, that means whatever values you are seeing, that, then square is equal to true, c map is this color, yellow green and blue. Okay, then outlier detection. So box plot is used using this sns dot box plot, the data dot data, then set title dot box plot of column. So whatever title we are giving here, that, and then data whatever we are passing, and that's it. So all the box plots we are seeing here, but they're not clear. So that is why we study box plot one by one. Okay, now count plot will give you the count with respect to a sex, so male and female. So that is the count with respect to y-axis, and male and female it will give. Now these are the box plot again, different one. Pair plot will give you the overall visualization of every column. Okay, so this will be like directly related, like the middle columns will be correlated to each other themselves itself, so that is why we don't need those. So the other columns, it will show you how they are scattered across using pair plot. Okay, so SNS.pair plot directly pass the data set. That's it. Now bar plot will give you the bar plot like this. So in case of X, we are passing the column island. In case of Y, we are passing body mass. Okay, and in case of data, we are passing the data set. Okay, so this was like small introduction of everything like visualization and other things. Okay, so we learned about Penguin dataset, then hotel booking dataset, and Python for data analysis. Okay, so the last part is remaining, that is the conclusion. Okay, so let's recap whatever things we have learned. So basically, we started with Python for data analysis, its importance, then setting up the environment of Jupyter Notebook and VS Code. Also, we saw Google Colab, right? So Google Colab needs to be signed in, so look into that. Then installing the libraries, how to install them and how to import them. Then we looked into Python basics like identifiers, keywords, variables, then input output functions, control structures, then data structures like list, tuple, set and dictionary, right? So we ended up with functions. Okay, lastly I gave you some introduction to libraries like NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib. Okay, so if you want a dedicated video with respect to each library, just comment in the comment section, I will do that. Okay, so and then yeah, we solved the hotel booking data set. So we looked into data cleaning, data exploring and data visualization with respect to this. Okay, EDA, that is on Penguin dataset. So this is what we looked into: heat map, then yeah, pair plot, box plot, etc. right? So that's it. Like we learned various things, so hope you learned and understood something from this video. Okay, so and one more thing, so if you have come till this far, I just wanted to say you this things also. So there is this Project Pro. Do check out the link, that is projectpro.io, which has like various projects. So here you can see in the projects library, you have machine learning projects, data science project, Keras, then DL, NN, like neural network, NLP, TensorFlow, etc. Okay, so if you hit on anything, you will go to that section and you can try it out. Okay, so do check out this Project Pro link or website. You will have access to vast range of projects. Also check out our channel, that is Project Pro. And if you learned something from this video, do hit that subscribe button. Until then, take care, bye bye.